Hola guys, ¿qué paso? What's going on? This is Jalapablo. Hey, you guys ready to do another weekly gains recap of what we did this week in the group from the signals that I put out, the charts that I uploaded to TradingView, first to the group and then to TradingView. And these are all momentum charts that we did, meaning Bitcoin is in a certain trading pattern, and we are in the midst of a counter trend, technically, still in this bear market. We haven't seen just a proper reversal, although things are looking good, and we'll get into that maybe later. But when you identify certain patterns in the price action, uh, you can sort of anticipate to a pretty high degree of probability that as long as the volume continues to jibe along with the price action, we can reasonably expect the trajectory of the price to go in a certain direction, uh, at least until it reaches a certain Fibonacci level, and then we can anticipate retests and all that, retracements, pullbacks, and such. But if, especially in a counter trend, which we are in right now, uh, we could have all of those patterns recognized and anticipated, and yet if Bitcoin decides to take a nosedive, it's going to send all of that technical analysis down the toilet, and none of it will apply, of course, because so many of the altcoins are indexed to Bitcoin's price action. So really, you need to look at two things in addition to the volume and spread reads. You have to also, after you do that, look at Bitcoin, look at Bitcoin's own volume and price action read, because it trumps all of the other alts. Technical analysis. So in this case, Bitcoin was showing a very strong continuation pattern, and it was looking good as far as supply and demand and the volume. So the alts that were falling in line with it, I just expected that they would do the same. So many of these charts, I went into all that just to let you know that many of these charts are based off of the analysis that I gleaned off of Bitcoin by doing a volume spread analysis off Bitcoin, finding alts that are conforming to the same volume spread price trajectory of Bitcoin, and then just doing the charts, fully expecting them to hit the Fibonacci zones, which many of them did, and we did very, very well this week. So we'll start with this was one I didn't get a chance to upload to TradingView, but the group got it. That's why it's the group. It's good to be in the group, because a lot of these charts I don't get time to upload to TradingView because they just run so damn fast. They pump so fast, and then they retrace. And if you haven't set a limit sell, you're going to miss out completely on the gains. And this was one of them. This was comp, and this was the chart that I gave to my group back on the 7th. Today is the 10th, so it's been 3 days. So I said, hey guys, this is forming a bull pennant, and the volume is looking good. We had this, you see this big supply spike here. That was a sell-off, but it wasn't able to take the price action past the micro trend support. And so that fell in line perfectly with the series of higher lows that this pennant was forming. So once I saw that, and then it kind of reconsolidated here just above support, and it formed almost like another pennant, but in a smaller fractal. And that also respected the support trend. Hey man, to me, it's time to get in. And then we shot back up. It bounced down from microtrend resistance, and I drew this geometrical symmetrical pattern out, and said, hey, if anyone wants to, let's jump into this. And then I set the chart at I did the Fibonacci zones on top of it. Now, 3 days later, this is what it did. this is it. This is the same chart, but with the markup. And if you did a limit sell at the 618 Fibonacci, we would have been cashed out at 9.91%. So that's just one of them. With these guys, you want to take the money and run. You want to get the fuck out of these. You don't want to linger. You don't want to get greedy. See, we could have held on to this to the 2 and even to the 272, and in this case to the 2618. Shit, this pumped all the way up to the 3. I don't know, what would that be? The 3272, the 3.272, or something like that. But it's highly, highly risky, and you get caught. You can get hung very easily up here and lose everything. So I am a safe trader as part of my risk to reward ratio, and I like to hedge my bets, especially if I'm going long in a bear trend, in a bear market, which we are. A lot of people say it's pretty stupid to go long in a bear market. You should be shorting. And yeah, I could short too. The thing is with shorting, I don't trade on leverage. I don't leverage trade. So so I look for ways to make money in bull markets, and you can make money in in bear markets. You just have to know what you're doing, or you're going to get killed. So we made almost 10% on this. This was one that we did. And then let's see, we're just going to go down the list, and then I'll give you the cumulative numbers for what we earned or what I earned this week. And if you would piggyback me, you would have gotten the same. So Zen, let's look at Zen, Horizon, Zen, volume predominance. Here's a chart I put out on Zen on the 7th, back on the same day as Comp. But I was able to actually upload this one. And here we see the series of demand spikes increasing, basically demand tests as the price trends within this inclining regression trend. And then we load the bars and we see that we did reach the 1.618. Remember, I have limit sells on the 618s. When I do these, I am designating or pre-designating a limit sell. That means I don't have to fucking mess with it. I don't have to watch it. I set my, like whatever I put in this, $1,000, I'll set the sell, the automatic sell order at the 1618, and then just forget about it. And so we see that here. I closed it out. It hit the Fibonacci target. Zen, what did we make on Zen? We made 5.33%. Now I know that's not a lot. If you're like 5%, what the fuck is that? Well, these add up. See, swings are a number game. It's all essentially a numbers game. And if you want to capitalize on that, you have to spread out, and you have to do these small cores, these preliminaries, in the ones that look the most enterprising that they're going to run on. Now, if you have a lot of money, if you're loaded, and you can afford to drop 10,000 on each one, or whatever. I don't have that much. I can't do 10,000. I could do 1,000. I could do 3,000, but I can't do 10,000 on each one. Now imagine dropping 10 G's on this, and it marks up 5.33% in like 2 days. $10,000. Oh, well, let's see. 10,000. Because my math sucks. Times 5.33%. That's $533. Duh, I could have done that in my head. I don't know. I haven't had enough coffee this morning yet. But that's $533 cashed out on in 3 days. You didn't do shit. You just set a limit sell. You identified the runner through your Wyckoff VSA analysis, and then you just forget about it. By the way, guys, this is my friend Ben. And guess where you can find Ben? I always seem to meet up with Ben. You know where I find Ben? Ben is in the trend. You can find Ben in the trend. There's lots of Bens in the trend. I bump into Ben all the time. And hopefully I demonstrate that. I'm going to show you where Ben is in these videos. So that's 5.33. That's 5.33% on Zen. What's the next one? And then we did one on Atom, which is Cosmos. Atom. Here's one I put out on the 5th. Load it up. You see this, how it, I don't know if you can see this on the camera, but it did wick up to the 618. And I closed out the target, and we made 7.25% on that. So that we made even more on Zen, on Atom, than we made in Zen. CRV was another one. CRV, Here's one. All these I send to my group first, and then after they start running, I put them up on TradingView. Here's CRV, July 5th, the same as we did Atom. This marked up. This really marked up. You see that? And there's basically two targets reached on this one. The first one, I did the 6.15, which I got. And then when it came back down and reaccumulated here for a second time, I did another one, and I ran this one up to the 2.618 and made another 6.59%. So this is like a double dip. So yeah, that was nice. So we made cumulatively on this one 13.1%. So who says you can't make money in a bear market? CRV, API 3. We made, dude, I made 38 fucking percent on API 3 this week. Let's see if I can find it. I know it's down here because it took a while to run. Some of these you got to have patience. Patience for, here's API 3. Some of them run right away, and others, for whatever reason, they go back down and retest right when you think they're going to break out. They don't have the volume. They don't have the supply enough supply absorbed. So they need to go back down and reabsorb. And sometimes Bitcoin just pulls everything down, even though the alts themselves are healthy and they're ready to go. Bitcoin steps in, and Bitcoin takes a nosedive, and the indexed algorithms pull everything else down with the king of crypto. So, but on API 3, let's see, we put this one out on June 23rd, so it was a while ago. But we made very good money on the 618 when we got cashed out. We made a 38.6 gain. API 3 was one that I've been sitting on, and I think people in my group were sitting on that for a while too. Aergo, Aergo, AERGO is another one. We made 4.60%. We'll take a look at that. Let's see some of these. Here's Ergo Rising. When was that? That was released. This one was released on the 5th of July. And you see I circled the 1.618 and the 2.0. And this one marked up briefly. I'm going to press play. Yeah. This one really shot up, but I don't take my chances on these. I just cashed out of the casino at 618, so I made 4%. But this one, I knew it was gonna take off. I mean, the volume reads on it were just spectacular. But I just didn't want to tie up all my funds in something that wasn't gonna pop right away when there's so many others going off at the same time. But this one went above and beyond my expectation. And so Ergo Rising, and boy, it sure did rise. DYDX is another one. DYDX, 11.99% we made on that one. See if I can find it. Here's DYDX. See, we have this familiar pattern. This basically is a retest or a cup and handle, but on a lower fractal within the channel, and that alerts me to a possible upswing, and it sure did. See it all of these mainly mark up to the 618, maybe a little bit beyond it, but if you get out at the 618, you're safe. And so here we did. I closed it out at the 618. We made 11.99%, almost 12% on that one. The next one, and this one marked up this morning, I took profit on. This is Spell. Let's see, and it was one that we've been holding for a while, not as long as some of them, but when did we get into this one? July 2nd. Okay. And so we see this micro trend support that the price has just been faithfully bouncing off of, marked up again, came back down. I drew a 0.5 midline Fibonacci, and then I saw the volume spikes as the supply volume continues to decrease on this lateral trend. I said, hey, it's time to get in, and got in, and we had to hold it for about a week, but it did. And look, it just exactly right up to the 618. So like I said, this demonstrates swings like this, and this has legit volume behind it. It marked all the way back down to the 1 fib, but these swings demonstrate two things. They demonstrate the accuracy, number one, the accuracy of the Fibonacci targets, and number two, the power of patience. Patience is the biggest thing you need to have in swing trading and in investing in general. If you don't have patience, you're gonna get out too early, or you're gonna miss swings altogether. Because sometimes you got to sit on these and wait. That's why you spread your bets out. You don't put too much in. You say you have $5,000 and you put 4,000 in this. You only have 1,000 to invest into other alts, and then this one's not doing anything. It decides that, no, I'm going to bounce off the midpoint and consolidate for another 4 or 5 days, and you're like, shit, man, my money's all tied up in this and it's not doing anything. Do I cut it down and redistribute the fiat elsewhere, or do I keep sitting on it? What if Bitcoin tanks? Is it going to tank everything down? It's going to hit my stop loss, or whatever your method is of trading. And so that's why you don't go all in. You don't shoot all your load right away. You hold out, and you spread out the wealth. That's something I teach my group. But anyway, we made, what did I make on this? Well, 15%, 15.15% on the 1.5 Fibonacci. So it rewarded our patience. Let's see, what's the next one? Farm. Farm did good. Farm, we had to sit on this one for a while, and it shot up. When I say a while, about a week and a half, maybe. Let's see if I can find farm on here. Farm. IMX, bread. These are all Spell, Ergos, Braintrust, Atom, DDX, Zen, Jasmy, Farm Flash. All right, here we go. This one was cool. This was kind of like the one we just did, Spell. You see the same kind of pattern. So I say pattern recognition is so important in swing trading. And you see the volume spikes, the volume spikes, the volume spikes as the spread continues to decrease smaller and smaller. And I said, shit, this thing is going to flash at some point. It's due to flash. The TRR, the trading range resistance, is beginning to merge with the microtrend support. And this is just getting, the spread is just obeying both of these barriers and getting squeezed to the. And I said, when it reaches the apex of this ascending triangle, it's going to most likely shoot. Whether up or down, it remains to be seen. But since Bitcoin was bullish in the counter, I figured this would follow Bitcoin. And sure enough, what happened when it reached the apex? Boom, look at this flash. It went almost all the way up. It went past the 2.618. Of course, I had my limit sell set on the 1.618. And that is exactly where it retraced back to when we begin to see supply reemerge as it retraced back to the 1 fib. So talk about accurate Fibonacci's. So this one, we made 14.15% on farm, and we've been in it since July 8th. So all these are about the same. It's the 10th now, so that's 3 or 4 days we're making these gains. A couple of them we've been in for longer than a week, but the bulk majority of these are less than a week that we're making these gains on. The next one, Jasmy. I put out Jasmy. I gave Jasmy to my group a few days prior, and then then it consolidated laterally a bit more, and then it started to demand started to surge in. I'm like, well, let me just upload it to TradingView and see what happens. And so this is where I uploaded it to TradingView. Here we have, you see the volume spread action here down here. As the price action trends intra-channel, and this regression trend on a slow incline, we're seeing overall the supply decreasing. We see the supply here again decreasing on this consolidation. Supply is decreasing, and then up here on this hug, on this it turned out to be a reaccumulation along microtrend resistance. Supply is still decreasing. See this large supply bar and then the smaller supply bar. So systematically, supply is decreasing on the trend within this channel, but overall demand is increasing. And so that alerted me that Jasmy's about to shoot at some point. And so when I uploaded it, it did. It shot. This one shot all the way up to the 272. Of course, we took profit at the 1618. And we got cashed out here, and we made 4.49%. All right, so it's one of those smaller gains. Nonetheless, like I said, swing trading is a numbers game, And if you want to make money in these, you need momentum and volume. And so volume of trades, that volume of runners, and it really doesn't matter if it's 5% or 10%. Of course, you want the larger spread, you want the larger gain, but sometimes you have to just, if it just means getting cashed out at 5%. And look, and we got cashed out right in time, because look at this. It just dumped back to microtrend support and fell through the channel, actually. So the 618 got us out safely and soundly. So let's see. There's so many of them. And then comp, we did comp already. So altogether, cumulatively for this week, we have a 124.65% cumulative gain in profit this week. Not bad. Not bad for a bull for a bearish counter trend when Bitcoin is on shaky ground and they say you shouldn't go long. You can make money in bull market in bear winners if you know what you're doing without shorting. You could still go long in counter trends like this, doing momentum plays at the 618 cash out if you know volume, spread analysis, a little bit of Wyckoff, and your Fibonacci zones. You can and you designate limit sells in all of them, and not hold on and get greedy. You can certainly make money. We're making 100% almost every single week on these, just picking out these runners. So anyway, let me let you go. I know this went on way too long, and so thank you for listening, and check out the charts. All the charts are on TradingView. Jalapablo is the name of my profile. You can get on, become a subscriber. Got 2,500 subscribers on TradingView. Not many on YouTube, but I'm looking to build that up. If you guys like making money during swings, you don't like bullshit and all the fluff that you see with a lot of these guys who don't even know how to trade, by the way. They're just trying to sell you something. Go ahead, subscribe, like the video. There's more coming. I love to teach. I believe in teaching you how to fish so you can get the food yourself and not having to go to the fish store to buy fish. It's much better to know how to fish so you can go and just feed your family on your own. And so that's what I try to do with my tutorials and the purpose of these videos, showing you what I see, how to pick these runners so you in turn can go and do likewise. And so nothing makes me happier than seeing people make money, because it makes me look good. All right, guys, let me let you go. Have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you next week. And so, all right, guys, adios. Bye-bye.